The first trailer for Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2 was shown at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, and from the early descriptions and brief reactions to it, it sounds like it's going to be even bigger and more incredible than Part 1. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the description of the footage that was shown, the potential date for when we can all expect to see it, and sharing other interesting details that were shared at the event. Before I get into it though, if you want to keep up to date on any of my content surrounding Dune Part 2 and beyond, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. But without further ado, let's dive into the Dune Part 2 trailer shown at CinemaCon. So attendees at the Warner Brothers panel at CinemaCon were treated to a first look at the stunning trailer for Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2 with Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, and Denis Villeneuve all on stage. Before the audience were shown the trailer, the director spoke a bit about the film, saying, "It's an epic war movie, it's much more dense, we visited Arrakis, we visited new locations, everything in this film is new. In the first movie, we shot 40% in IMAX, this time it's full IMAX." So that detail itself is something to really be excited about, and to be honest, I think there's no excuse now when it comes to the home entertainment presentation of Part 2 in the future. If you remember, Part 1's stunning IMAX photography was only able to be viewed in theatres because the 4K and home release version cut the IMAX footage out. So if Dune Part 2 is fully in IMAX, it would be nice to also see that down the line when the film is able to be viewed from home. Still, the fact that Part 2 is all IMAX in theatres compared to Part 1's 40% of the format does get me anticipating the grandeur of the powerful shots and Greg Fraser's cinematography on the big screen. Other than speaking about the presentation of the film, they also talked a bit more about what we can expect from the moments that the sequel will capture and the new characters being introduced. Timothée Chalamet talked specifically about the pinnacle moment from the sequel where Paul Atreides rides a sandworm, and this is of course a big focus of that new trailer, saying that the worm he rides is completely practical. I don't know how they've managed to film that, but it will make for an interesting watch on the special features down the line. Also, as expected, it was mentioned that Zendaya's character Chani, a peripheral figure in the first movie, is now ready for war and taking up a much important role. Zendaya said that the film will explore the rising relationship between Paul and Chani, and that these are still just two young people who are trying to grow up and fall in love and to live. She's not just in dreams this time. When it comes to other characters, Rebecca Ferguson's Lady Jessica apparently looks quite different, covered in face tattoos like in the vision we saw back in Part 1. And when Villeneuve spoke about Austin Butler's Fade Rother, he said that he plays an Olympic swordmaster crossed with a psychotic Mick Jagger. What then followed this was a first look at that mentioned trailer with some iconic imagery that fans of the book will instantly recognise. According to descriptions from Deadline and DiscussingFilm.net, the footage begins with Chani and Paul sitting at the edge of the desert, with Paul saying to her, "It's breathtaking, just imagine water." Florence Pugh's Princess Carino, who apparently looks really regal in the teaser, is then introduced early too, as she wears a beaded veil over her face and talks about the coming war. She says, "In the shadow of Arrakis lies many secrets, but the darkness to all of that is what remains." We then see that Josh Brolin's Gurney Halleck makes a comeback after the events of the first film, and Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica is seen riding across the desert with the Fremen people in some sort of speeder, teasing their plans to overthrow the Harkonnens. Then the sequel's tagline appears on screen, reading "Fury will rise," which follows in the footsteps of Part 1's "It Begins." Pugh's character then says, "What if Paul Atreides was still alive?" and we cut to some footage that many of us would have expected to see. We see him rising as a great leader among the Fremen and getting advice from Javier Bardem's Stilgar about riding a sandworm. Bardem's Stilgar says, "Don't try to impress anyone, be simple but direct," and Paul replies, "Nothing fancy." The description states that we then see some awesome grappling and hook work as Paul tries to wrestle and mount the worm, getting swallowed up by the sand. There's a shot of someone's eyes turning blue from the spice, and then the trailer comes to an end with a few more pivotal moments. Shots of him appearing atop of a canyon to cheering people are shown, and then one with him preparing for the climactic crysknife battle with Austin Butler's Fade Rotha in a wide and spacious battlefield. It's confirmed in the trailer that Fade is indeed bold, and during the footage he's seen bowing in front of the Baron while his brother Raban stands to the side and looks at him with fear. So to my surprise, that description of the trailer fits quite perfectly in line with what I predicted in my trailer video a few weeks back, where I said that I think we'd see a focus on the moment where Paul rides the sandworm, and then also that it would focus on new characters appearing in the film too. Of course, we are yet to see further reveals of Christopher Walken's Emperor or Elia Atreides, but it seems like the early shots we get of Florence Pugh and Austin Butler's characters really do build the excitement on their own. The reactions of those who were at the event seemed really positive about what they heard and saw, and a lot of those who saw it seemed to be suggesting that this could be even better than Part 1. Stephen Weintraub said that the first trailer for Part 2 is incredible. Robert Meyer Burnett said, "Long live the fighters, Dune Part 2 looks fantastic," and others alluded that it really sells the epic war movie approach that Denis assigned to it. So overall, it sounds like this trailer is really a spectacular first look at everything we are excited about surrounding the film, whether it be crucial moments of the story, detailed looks at anticipated new characters, or visuals, especially those involving sandworms, which take the saga to staggering new heights. But now that we've talked about the trailer and the footage included, when can we all expect to see it? Well, if you remember my trailer date prediction video from a few weeks back, I predicted back then that we would get this first trailer privately screened at CinemaCon, and that after, it would then be released online in the weeks that followed. At the CinemaCon event, they did confirm that the trailer which was shown will be releasing very soon for the public. And if we look slightly ahead, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is releasing in theaters in just over a week's time, being quite a solid spot to debut and attach this trailer to. Something similar happened last year with the first trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water being put in front of Doctor Strange 2, and honestly, I can see Warner Brothers wanting to do something similar with Dune Part 2 to get even more eyes on the film. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say that this trailer will be released online before next Wednesday, which is the early UK release of Guardians 3, so that it can be attached to those screenings. We'll have to see, and for all we know, they might keep it offline for another few weeks yet, but to me, it would seem like a missed opportunity if they didn't capitalize on the hype that this trailer got at CinemaCon by releasing it for everyone in the week or so that follows. But that was my video discussing the Dune Part 2 trailer shown at CinemaCon. It sounds like this first trailer for Part 2 is going to be really stunning, and based on the descriptions and early reactions, it's a great initial tease for the main events that take place in the second part of Frank Herbert's novel. I'm especially looking forward to that moment where Paul learns to ride the sandworm, as I think it will include integral images to pull off for the second film to work. If they can can make that look amazing, and based on reactions it seems like they might have, then the battles and further worm action towards the latter part of the book can be just as impressive on the big screen too. Alongside the visuals, the important moments of the story, and glimpses of the new cast, it won't be long before we can all see this trailer, and it's going to be intriguing to see what the general reaction to it is. But let me know down below in the comment section what you think towards the footage reactions for the Dune Part 2 trailer, alongside whether it makes you even more excited for Denis Villeneuve's latest film. For much more videos and news on Denis Villeneuve's Dune universe, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.